The two alternative paths available for us are, one is to let the system stay where it is, to hope over time the system simply can grow its way out of this. And that will leave us vulnerable to a longer period where you have periods of wrenching, damaging, deleveraging by the financial system that sucks more oxygen out of the economy and recovery. Or you can have the government come in and have government itself come in and purchase these assets and own all that risk.
Take it all.
Set the price itself. And I am very confident that that would leave us in a position where the government is taking risks it does not understand, cannot manage effectively, highly vulnerable to overpaying for those assets, and charge that we're giving a disguised subsidy that's unjustified to those institutions. And that's the balance we're trying to strike.
I know tomorrow you're testifying before Congress. They're obviously focused on this bonus issue, which, as you point out, has caused quite a political firestorm. You and your people have said that you didn't know about these bonuses in any detail before early March. But at the New York Fed, you had a whole staff of people working with AIG, sitting in there on the compensation committee, on the board. Should you have known about it?
As I said, I was not informed by my staff about the scale and extent of this package until March 10th. But that's my responsibility. I should have known earlier. But, Alan, it would not have affected the choices we had, because the choices we had were limited by the fact that a range of these payments were contractually committed payments made back in the spring of 2008 before there was any involvement.
What is the government's role in setting compensation?
Well, I'd come back to what the President laid out on February 4th, I think. He laid out a broad set of basic principles to guide compensation conditions in cases where the government's providing assistance. I think you want to make sure that compensation above a certain limit is in the form of restricted stock or other type payment which vests over time so that performance is tied to the broader performance of the firm as a whole. Now, that's a simple principle, understandable principle, and that's one way to think about how we think about going forward in this area. Obviously, you don't want the government prescribing detailed sets of requirements for the design of compensation practices. On the other hand, you need to have a better set of broad standards in place that can help complement risk management requirements, limits, the broader checks and balances which frankly failed across our system.